My name is Jonathan. I'm the technical audio designer on FalseGod, currently in Brighton, UK. I do most of the implementation and system building behind the scenes, or all of that sort of stuff. Started in music but quickly became an audio engineer and been doing that for the last couple of decades, going from studio recording to film to sort of thoroughly landing in games and the technical side of audio in games.
Hello, I'm Mattis. I'm originally Estonian. I live in Finland though now for the last 6 or 7 years. I graduated over a year ago already, and I think I've worked already almost 3 years, I would say.
I'm Nick. I'm from Manchester in the UK. I also have a master's in game audio that I finished about a month ago. I'm also a tutor at a university called FutureWorks in Manchester, teaching adaptive music for video games. For FalseGod, I am a sound designer, a creative sound designer, and I joined in August, about mid-August. That's me.
For my part, since I do the technical side of things, it's pretty pragmatic in the sense that it's sort of understanding the intention behind the scene we're actually in, the level, the sort of gameplay loop we're doing, just making sure that what we're doing for audio is supporting that, not detracting from that.
For me, I'd say the visuals and the character models are what has inspired my creativity. The art and the modeling teams have done a fantastic job at bringing these imaginations to life in a way that inspires me to be just creative with the sound design. I get to look at these creatures and think, that is absolutely horrifying, and what in God's name should it sound like, and what could it sound like?
Narrative and the general setting, and I think the general genre is what I guess inspires me the most. I want to make this Lovecraftian sound which combines Chinese thematics, and it's very inspiring for me, and how to tell a story with music. So that's my 2 cents about it.
The danger for audio, especially when it comes to a game like this, is horror is really fun to design for. I think when you talk to any sound designer, horror is sort of on the top there. You have to be a bit careful and rein yourself in at times, because it's very easy to over-design. In horror, silence is a very powerful tool. I think it's something that every studio, especially with a horror game, something they hit at some point where you just notice, okay, that's way too much, now we have to rein it back a bit.
It is challenging for me in many folds, because on my end I need to kind of bring forward these Chinese thematics, but on the other end I need to keep to the horror, because horror music, it also needs to be functional, needs to tick a lot of boxes. So combining that with the Chinese thematics, bringing them in, it is quite the challenge, yeah.
Shortly after I joined the team, I was given the task of developing and creating the sounds for our main creature at the moment, a Lovecraftian eldritch horror consisting of strong, heavy, fleshy body with a tongue made of human arms, who us as the dev team have affectionately nicknamed Mittens. Though creating the assets was a daunting task, some of my recent work in creature sound design came in handy. One of the most effective approaches for creating Mittens' vocals was actually a somewhat classic technique in sound design, where you take animal recordings, do some warp stretching in my DAW, and this creates a deeper pitch in the sound, and with just a little bit more processing can turn a plethora of different things into a monster. After trying a variety of different animal vocalizations, I found that a combination of dog and cat sounds, recordings even, stretched out really suited Mittens, leading me to recording my partner's dog Coda as he does some playful growls when he's playing with his tug toy, which was just a bit of fun but provided me with some really good breaths and growls and sniffs which have worked their way into the game.
I designed a very different monster. I did all the sounds for what's called the screechers. It's not the main monsters. They are sort of jotted around the level and more the sort of jump scare element of this temple level. I love doing what's called multi-band processing, where you sort of split the voice up into sort of the high frequencies, the mid frequencies, the low frequency, and then you treat them differently, and you sort of think of, okay, what's the purpose of all of these different frequencies and what role do they play in this vocalization? So that was very fun. Then I also, with the movement, because they have these sort of teeth, claws, I made a synth that would generate these movements sort of randomly, so I could just let it play for 10 minutes and then pick out, okay, this was a good section. And I made that with a granular synth with the sound of snapping pasta, which was quite fun to do.
Definitely subtle, yeah. In horror games, music feels part of the world. It's diegetic almost, like you feel it's resonating from the world itself, but it's kind of not music. It's also kind of quasi sound design. I have taken like sampled instruments and I have over processed so that they feel like totally something else. Because I take something that sounds kind of real, I try to turn it into something that is from another universe or something.
It's not horror related, but I recently made all the UI sounds, which is surprisingly challenging. I think it's something that all sound designers will struggle with at some point. I found these old cards. I just flicked one, and this was a few months back, and I thought this would make a good UI sound. I just stuck a pin in that, and then when it came to this, us needing the UI, I had that to sort of say. But often it's also just knowing that, okay, we need something with this texture. What can I grab? And sort of try bashing things together. When you hear it, you wouldn't necessarily think that that's what it is, but yeah, that's the fun of sound design.
I'd say we mostly work closest with the programming and animation teams, at least for me. The animation team inspires the sound design process as we need to take our idea of what these events might sound like and adapt them to the unique inflections that we see in the animations.
For me, more than the rest of the team, it's the programmers. It's their domain, and we always need to be very careful not to tread on their toes and to sort of to honor what they've done and just build on top of that, and hopefully not to break anything in the process.
I think actually hearing it in the game, contributing to the story and what it's supposed to do, that's the most rewarding. And if it's good.
Yeah, playing the game for myself, it sort of brings everything together. It's also quite rewarding when I get feedback about how scary Mittens is. There's been some swear words that I won't repeat here that people have said in response. But yeah, it's really nice to feel like it's having the intended effect.
I would have to agree with everyone else. I think when you get everything in engine, because when you're designing, be it sound or system or composing music, you get very focused on that thing. It's like if you're painting on a big canvas and then you take a step back and suddenly you see the whole thing. It's when it works, it's really nice.
The sort of buzzwords I would use for explaining how I want the sound design to feel is unnerving and, yes, somewhat otherworldly, yet still grounded in reality. That's sort of, an oxymoron, but it's kind of the essence of what I want to create. Just something terrifying, really, is what I'm going for.
I'm gonna actually use the same word, unnerving. It's a good word for it. I kind of want that the music would give an extra kind of layer of reality to the sound. When you play like Silent Hill games, the music is just kind of sound design, but it's not, and you are confused about it. So I'm kind of want to achieve that same feeling.
Audio in general is very good at guiding emotion. It's a very good tool if you have a scene and you want the player or the watcher or the consumer to feel something. And I think that being said, as sound designers in any medium, I think we have to check ourselves and make sure that we are supporting what's happening in terms of the art, in terms of the gameplay, in terms of everything. Our role is not to take the attention away from all of that. It's to sort of build all of that up, guide the player into what they're feeling. And sometimes that might mean sort of killing your babies, checking your ego. I think it's important to understand that is the purpose of audio. It's not meant to be the main thing that's happening.